Hare Krishna. We get this human life after 84 lakhs of species. Almost everybody knows it. But let us ask a question to ourselves that are we doing justice to this rare human form of life? Now Krishna is going to answer to each one of us in today's shlok. So first, let us recite the shlok number 41 of Karma Yoga. Tasmadvam indriyadyadav niyamya bharatarshabha papamanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. Tasmadvam indriyadyadav niyamya bharatarshabha papamanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. Word meanings: Tasmat, therefore, tvam, you, indriyani, senses, adav, in the beginning, niyamya, by regulating, bharatarshapha, O chief amongst the descendants of Bharat, papamanam, the great symbol of sin, prajahi, curb, he, certainly, enam, this, gyan, knowledge, vigyan, scientific knowledge of the pure soul, nashanam, destroyer. Translation. Krishna says, therefore, O Arjun, best of the Bharatas, in the very beginning, curb this great symbol of sin, which is called lust, by regulating the senses, and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. Krishna has begun this shlok with tasmat, which means therefore. Krishna has begun with therefore because he has already told Arjun about the eternal enemy, which is lust, and where it resides. So now Krishna is giving clear instructions to Arjun to curb lust by regulating the senses from the very beginning. Further, Krishna says to slay lust as it is the destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. Now let us read the purport of Srila Prabhupada to have a better understanding of the shlok. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnavon ki jai. Prabhupada says that Krishna advised Arjun to regulate the senses from the very beginning so that he could curb the greatest sinful enemy, lust, which destroys the urge for self-realization and the knowledge of the self. Here it's very important for each one of us to understand that Krishna advised Arjun to regulate his senses from the very beginning, and every instruction that is given to Arjun is actually meant for each one of us. Now the question arises, how to regulate the senses? For this, our Srila Prabhupada has given us 4 regulative principles to follow, which includes no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illegal relationship. And every day do at least 16 rounds of chanting of Mahamantra. And anyone who follows these regulative principles is sure to have regulated senses, which is so very important to curb lust. Let us understand the meaning of lust. Prabhupada says that anything that is done with the selfish desire of sense enjoyment is lust, and everything that is done for the pleasure of Krishna is selfless love of Krishna. And human life is only meant for progressing in self-realization and the knowledge of self. But if the senses are not regulated and the mind indulges in sense enjoyment, then there is no question of self-realization, as sense enjoyment kills the urge of the knowledge of self. Now, some of us might be thinking that we have already crossed the age and maybe we are in our 30s, 40s, or 50s, or maybe even more. Still, we have hope because Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna consciousness is so strong that anyone can start the process at any age and will surely revive the pure love of Krishna. Though it is true that Krishna Bhakti process should be taken up from the very beginning of life, because at that age the natural love of God cannot deteriorate into lust. For example, it is very easy to give shape to a young plant than a tree. Similarly, it's easy to give shape to a soft clay than dry clay. So the process of Krishna Bhakti should be included in our daily routine of each one of us. But if the senses are not engaged in the devotional process of Krishna consciousness and the love of God deteriorates into lust, then it is a tough task to return to the normal condition. The normal condition is this, that I am an eternal servant of Krishna and I should serve Krishna by Shravanam, Kirtanam and Smaranam. These are the three basic process of Krishna Bhakti. Shravanam means listening to Bhagwat Gita and Bhagavatam, and Kirtanam means chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and glorifying Krishna's pastimes from Bhagavatam. In today's shloka, Krishna has clearly advised each one of us through Arjun to kill lust because it destroys the urge of knowledge and self-realization. In today's shloka, Krishna has clearly advised each one of us through Arjun to kill lust because it destroys the urge of knowledge and self-realization. We have to take it very seriously because of the simple reason that Krishna is saying it, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even after this, if we do not realize the importance and the urgency of it, then it's our sheer misfortune that we will miss this rare human form of life, which will not be justice to this rare form of human life, which is got only after 84 lakhs of species. Krishna says to destroy lust as it completely destroys Gyan and Vigyan. Now let's understand what is Gyan. Srila Prabhupada says that the knowledge of the body and the soul is Gyan, and the knowledge of the Supreme Lord and the relationship with Him is Vigyan. And this Gyan and Vigyan is only given in Bhagwat Gita by none other than Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody is equal to Krishna or greater than Him. Brahmaji in Brahm Samhita sings, Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Who is Brahmaji? Brahmaji is our second creator. Krishna is our first creator and Brahmaji created us by the material provided to him by Krishna. And in today's shloka, Krishna is saying that Gyan and Vigyan are destroyed by the lust, and or we can say that the urge of self-realization and the knowledge of self is destroyed by lust. And this knowledge of self and self-realization is only possible in human form of life, and this is why this rare of the rarest human form of life should not be wasted at all, as it will be a great injustice towards our own self. This is why Krishna has advised all of us through Arjun to keep our senses in control from the very beginning itself. And just in case I am a late beginner, still the process of Krishna consciousness is so powerful that one can surely revive the pure love of God by the process of listening Bhagwat Gita, Bhagavatam, and by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Srila Prabhupada says that by controlling of senses is very difficult. But if we just develop the habit of seeing the beautiful deities of Radha Krishna with our eyes and listen to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and beautiful bhajans of Krishna and speak only about the beautiful pastimes of Krishna and taste only Krishna Prasad, then surely one will make spiritual progress and make this rare human life a good bargain. Srila Prabhupada says that this is how one can turn the lust into love of Godhead, which is the highest perfectional stage of human life. In Bhagavatam, it is stated that unless a person develops love at the lotus feet of Krishna, one can never be delivered from the endless cycle of birth and death. Evam manah karma vasham prayukte avidyayatma manyupadhiyamane pritirna yavan mai vasudeve namuchyate deha yogena tavat. In this shlok, Krishna says that when the living entity is covered by the mode of ignorance, he does not understand the individual being and the supreme living being, and his mind is captivated by fructive activities. Therefore, until one has love for Lord Vasudeva, who is none other than myself, he is certainly not delivered from having to accept a material body again and again. Now we all need to think very seriously and invest our senses in only Krishna conscious activities, which is the sole aim of human life. Now a question might come in our mind that when lust resides in senses, mind and intelligence, then why has Krishna advised Arjun to control only the senses and not the mind and intelligence? We are going to get the answer of this question in the next verse. I thank each one of you for listening to the Bhagwat Gita video so attentively and minutely, and I thank Srila Prabhupada for making us understand the most secretive knowledge of Bhagwat Gita. Please be connected with me and let us make the best use of our human form of life. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnavon ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna